It's a little bit early, but I'm going to get started. Welcome to our CCNP class. Thank you again. I've come home. It's amazing. You wake up in Chicago and in the afternoon by 5 o'clock, you're teaching a class in North Carolina. So it's a small world. But I have come home with a fever, so I'm feeling a little rough this afternoon. But we're gonna do a couple things, and then you'll be able to get loose a little bit early today because, like I said, I just don't have my feet under me. Larry is having trouble with this lab 16.1.2. So what I want to do is I want to look under logs for the devices. So let's look at R1 and just see what we've got here. This is the great thing about NetLabs is I can see everything you've typed in. So this is where you dumped in your original commands. So I can see everything's in there. Everything was copied, so we're good there. We got our, okay, so it started working. You'll notice here, OSPF loaded from full. So everything's up and running. We got our pings. There's your tunnel. Source, loopback 0, destination's that. Got your route, tunnel 0. Tunnel is up. Okay. So there's IP route. Is that it right there? Hold on. Let's see. Let me see if I can pull the lab. 11.1. Let's see. On 16. I'm just going to open this one up. I know this is the revised one, but I want to see the route they ask you to put in. I think that's the issue. On R1. Okay. So we go back over in R1. We've got our, so here's our R1, our tunnel. Sorry, I'm gonna go back over here. There's our tunnel source. Unless you're dumping that in. So tunnel source, tunnel destination. All right. So it should have on R1 static route tunnel 0, which I saw that. So there's your route 30 on R1. I'm just making sure it's not a routing issue.
Okay.
So there that is there. And then now let's hop over.
Can you share your screen?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sitting here yapping and I hadn't shared my screen. Sorry about that. So I'm looking at this this lab right here, and we're trying to figure out why it's failing at the end of part 2. So that route's working. I want to see. So that's that static route there, but it's your IPv6 is not working, correct, Larry?
It let me see. Right, yes, that's what it, yeah, the IPv6 address.
So I want to see there's your tunnel 1. The IPv6 address is 2000 db8fs ::1. Let's actually pull this out here and show him. So it's S. I'm gonna stop my video so we got a little more room here, y'all. So FSS 001, we got that. Source loopback 0, destination 31, mode GRE. Yep. And there's the issue right there. Okay. Look right here, Larry.
Okay.
Right there's the issue. You'll notice, pull this back up for you. You'll see that the correct route on R1 is IP route 2001 db8 ACAD 1723:/64 tunnel 1. You tried that and you had it, but see how you used a semicolon by accident instead of a colon?
Yeah, I see that marker.
And then you did the route without tunnel 1 and see it took it.
Oh,
And so
gotcha.
it's got a route to nowhere.
Nowhere.
Yeah, it's basically routing that to null 0.
Okay.
And so I
My
think
bad.
that's the error right there. Right there's the
Okay.
issue. And folks, I'm gonna tell you that's why I love NetLabs. Because I can go and look at that and see, you know, there's the issue. But yeah, about guarantee you that's the issue.
Okay. I'll go back and do that again.
And
Yep.
I mean, we can also check R3 to check R3's information to see. Let's check it real quick, because the minute I saw that, I knew that looked a little bit weird, that there was no destination for the. So there's your IPv6 route. Yeah, see, you did it correctly over here on R3.
Okay.
So if you had not had that one little mistake, it would have worked fine.
Okay. I can go back and take care of that.
Yep. So
They call fat fingers.
yep, it happens. Well, and the weird thing is, quite honestly, and this goes back to showing us how different IPv6 is from IPv4. I honestly did not know myself personally that it would even take that command right there, which is, I did not know it would take that command.
Oh, without
Yeah, it's got no
okay,
next hop.
network, no next hop.
Yeah. So I
Okay.
don't even know where it's. I'd like to do a. Let's see if you did a show IP route. Yeah, here we go. All right, so let's see where it's telling it to go. So 1723. It's saying it's trying to go to tunnel 1, but it's not.
That's what when I
Well,
went and did a show of
yeah,
your route, it's showing it reflected there.
yeah.
And
But I about guarantee that's what it is. For some reason, it's trying to check it in null 0. Would be my guess.
okay. Well,
Yeah, try that. Try fixing that, and let's see if that fixes it. I think it will.
okay. I'll get back out there on it. Thank you, sir.
It is interesting that it shows it as being. Well, it's going to be on tunnel 0 though, because you've got the IP address on that tunnel. But that static showing is there, 2000 dB ACAD 1723. Let's go back up here. Yeah, it is strange that it would do it. I don't know why it defaulted to that. I don't know why it defaulted to that. For that tunnel. But it definitely should not have. Yeah, that's weird. I think that'll fix it. If it doesn't, let me
Okay.
know.
Okay. Will do.
The other thing I want to tell everyone, folks, is we now have 3 CCNP pods online. So that should free up a little bit more space for you. So when you go to do labs, we do have 3 pods, not just 2. So to give you a little more flexibility. I still do strongly suggest every time you do a lab, just do a quick erase on the routers and switches to make sure everything's getting wiped off. These 3650s and 3560s we use sometimes just do not want to do their thing and actually erase themselves. Also, the new pod should have 4000 series on it, and everything should be good to go on there. But if you run into any issues on the new pod, please let me know, because like I said, we just put it into the system. So it's just been put in there. Right. And folks, that's really all I got today. I'm sorry, but I did want to meet with you to see if you had any questions. We're still in pretty good shape. Lots going on, but if you'll just keep working, we'll get back together and talk about multicast next week, and discuss the different multicasts, and we'll go from there. Are there any questions at all?
Have you played with Chat GPT at all?
I am not, Robert. I have not played with it at all. I'll tell you some funny stories though. One of our security guys has used it to write a capture the flag competition. And it did it. I mean, it literally, he gave it the parameters. It wrote the capture the flag competition. It created the website for the competition. I mean, everything. It's a little scary. It really is.
It's amazing. I've
Yeah,
been playing with PowerShell scripts and Ansible,
yeah,
and it'll write the scripts and they'll work. It even knows some Cisco iOS, which is wild.
yeah. Oh yeah. Some commands don't work in that lab. Any idea why? What commands, Reginald? Usually, if a command doesn't work, it's just because the iOS doesn't support it. But most of the commands should work. I do know on A1, sometimes it does. A1, the especially on pods 1 and 2, the access layer switches we're using don't support some of the IPv6 commands. I do know that. So the other thing I'll tell you, Reginald, if you're doing CML, if you're using our CML pods, there are definitely some commands that sometimes will not work. And because the CML uses an older version of the iOS for the switches, they also require you to do some little weirder things like having to do, you have to tell it which type of encapsulation for trunks and those types of things. So, yeah, Bob, that's kind of scary. I wonder, ask Chat GPT to write a site-to-site VPN configuration between 2 Cisco routers and see what it does. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. What if you could copy and paste in that config and ask Chat GPT what's wrong with this? How come this isn't working? I wonder if it'll figure it out.
That would be very interesting. Take a working known site-to-site VPN config or a known multi-area OSPF config and break it on purpose, and then put those. That would, one, I tell you, you ought to try this. Create a normal single area OSPF in area 0, turn on authentication and put the wrong password on one side and see if Chat GPT can figure it out.
I'm gonna try that this week.
Yeah, David, that's also another very good thing. Yeah, and Reginald, on CML, most definitely, I will tell you, especially on the switches, some of the commands may not work. You'll need to kind of go back and look for the older switch commands. They will work, but you got to use the older commands versus the new ones. So, and then David's comment on sometimes subversion of 3560s, 3650s don't take all the routing protocols. Yeah, yeah. If you haven't played with the CML though, I still think the CML is worth looking at because it's got a lot of cool features and just some neat things to play with. Yeah.
Hey Kelly, it's John. I'm on the phone. Would you take an opportunity and put the URL to get to that competition net lab somewhere in Canvas?
I'll stick it right up here at the top. I'll just dump it on let me dump it. I'll dump it up here. I'll just do a page and stick it on there.
Thanks, sir.
Yep, no problem. I'm just gonna make it a text header. How's that?
Sure. Yep.
See if that works. And yeah, right there it is. And I will make it visible. And you're on the phone, so you can't see it, but I'll put down here, just put go here, get access. And you may want to watch the video I did if you were not there that day. I think you were, John, but you can go back and watch our video too to see the process of logging in and making it work for you.
Okay.
Yeah, David, that's fine. Yeah, give a whirl. If you want to do it, that's perfectly fine. feel free. If you don't have, David's asking if you can do a CML class for second year students. David, if you don't have an instructor level account on competitions, just send me an email and I'll create you one on it. And then you'll be able to create your own class. And I don't think they've done access control lists for those, but I will check to see. But yeah, we can do that. Just let me know. That's fine. We can make it work. They can play with it. It's got a lot of we got a lot of capabilities. So we got 10 pods of it. So now what we may need, David, you and I may need to work together for me to create you an account inside of CML that will let you create student accounts in CML. Otherwise they could use like student 1 and a password, student 2 password, whatever, but we can talk about that. So yeah, send me an email. We'll make it happen. Figure out the best way to make it happen. Okay, everybody. Well, any other questions? All right, sorry for the short class, but I'm gonna call it quits and I'm gonna go crash. So if you do need me, I will be around. I plan to probably have to work from home tomorrow. And then I'll be in the office maybe the rest of the week, depending on whether or not I test positive for COVID. We'll see about that. But then we'll go from there. So thank you, everyone.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Let me stop.